Happy Wednesday, people. Happy first day of summer. Welcome to the Kris and Gina Relationship Show. We have a great show planned for today.
We do.
It's nice if you're in Chicago. We got some hot weather out. It's even hotter in this studio.
It really is, isn't it?
So I hope my hair and makeup team prep me well.
I hope your deodorant team prepped you well.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
When I take a bath. Oh, you like it nasty.
I'm not Mrs. Critic. She's the one that asked that question.
Welcome, everybody. We've been away for a week. I was under the weather last week. I'm back. We've missed a lot. We had Father's Day. We had Juneteenth. Juneteenth was lit.
Was it?
Listen, I did mostly Father's Day in the house, right? So let me go out, check out Juneteenth. I mean, it was dangerous everywhere you go.
It's lituation.
That's how you know when it's lit, when it's sort of dangerous. There were people everywhere. Yeah, don't worry. I had security with me celebrating Juneteenth. If you didn't know, it's National Selfie Day.
I still don't understand.
Happy National Smoothie Day.
And what does that mean? You just get
enjoy smoothie.
You do a smoothie with a selfie, and you.
National Peaches and Cream Day.
I can't.
It's the first day of summer. I'm fired up. Okay. I know it's a Wednesday, but I'm fired. It's the longest day of the year. It is.
I know, because it's what? That's right. Summer solstice, which means
sunrise this morning was at 5:30.
Early as hell.
It won't set until 8:31 tonight.
Which is nice.
15-hour plus days. We're basically in Alaska right now.
Yeah, we're in Sweden.
Pretty much.
All right.
To put it in perspective, in December, little nothingness knowledge. The shortest day of the year is about 6 hours and 6 minutes shorter, less daylight than today.
Those are the depressing days.
Exactly. Also, a little more science for you. You thought you just came here for some shits and giggles.
Some science.
Today is when the Earth's axis is tilted, the northern hemisphere, most directly with the sun.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be the reason for the longest day.
It's amazing, man.
Okay.
We have about 34 days of summer.
That's it?
No, 94.
No, I was going to say 94. 34. Let's not cut it shorter.
It's 93.6. Look it up in the northern hemisphere. Southern hemisphere, somehow, only has 89. Go figure. But anyway,
did you have World Book dictionaries as a child? You read them from A to Z.
Don't tell people how smart I am. It'll ruin my reputation. Today's topic, our Dating Over 40 series continues.
That's right. You got a fun one.
We've talked about how to land a husband, a man to a boy, all of this stuff. Solid advice. Today, we're talking about sex, people. Good old-fashioned American sex, specifically for those over 40. Now, someone asked me, a woman says, you know what? I'm 50. Why don't you say over 50? As long as I'm doing the show, I don't care if I'm 85 years old. It's over 40.
Right.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
That's what we do. Right.
If I'm doing the show, it's over 35.
So with that, co-host with Mozina B, take us away. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about expectations of sex. My notes are too steamy to start off with.
Really?
They are.
She even turned her notebook over. She never takes notes. I'm looking forward to this myself. But go ahead.
Kris is usually the one with the list, not me. But no, I just wanted to make sure that the ladies don't get beat up on this.
I'm sure we'll get beat up.
I just want to make sure
I'm swinging
that the women.
Don't worry.
So I had to come armed with my own list, people. That's what I had to do. So therefore, what we're talking about, you're over 40. There can be problems to navigate in the bedroom area. And it's largely because science, we were talking about science earlier, science doesn't always land in our favor as men and women, right?
Are you about to go towards men aren't as good as they once were after 40?
Well, what I'm saying is that men are at their prime at 18 and women are at their prime at 40. So
I don't know if
the math doesn't math, right? So therefore, men who are in their best stamina years when they're barely out of high school, and then you get to be 40 and women are off the chain and you guys would rather eat a sandwich. Sometimes that just doesn't work out for people.
All right, I see we're jumping right in here. So are you saying are you saying that
excuse me. I'm not, I'm not making shit up.
To sip.
Yeah, sip the tea. We're spilling the tea.
Residual. It's actually tea.
there's a bag hanging out of it. So yes,
Actually,
it's tea bag.
So are you saying that there's a consensus with women over 40 that fellas are coming up
short,
shout in the bedroom?
Short.
Yep. Is that what you're saying?
I am.
Your friends say this?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of the things they say.
Well, okay. Here's something that I find fascinating. See, men always want to talk about.
I want to hear what the women have to say.
So I'm telling you.
I'm in a listening mood.
Men, I'm surprised at this. I feel like I'm going to get hit by a zinger.
No, not at all.
Soon. No, but here's what's interesting. So I talk with my friends a lot about this. It's a very hot topic, as you might imagine. Mm-hmm. Women, as we get older, we are less, we're less inhibited, right? So conversations about sex are just kind of
I'm not going to let you skip over
off
this.
the chain.
So you're saying some of your female friends say that some men are coming up to shop.
And I'll be specific.
What are some of the things they say?
I was going to get there, gosh.
I'm just saying.
You can talk about solstice.
I saw you driving right around it. I saw you throw a behind the back disc and just drive away from it.
Well, I'm about to, if we're talking about basketball, I'm about to steal the ball and stuff it. All right, so here we go. Men always want to talk about women and weight gain and sex and she got fat. Nobody. But did you guys know y'all are apt to gain weight too? That for every 50 pounds of weight gained by a man, you lose 1 inch of visible penis. Did you? That's a physiological fact. Look it up right here, right now.
All right.
So coming up short, yes, coming up short. Because a lot of people, one of my friends hooked up with a guy that she hooked up with in high school, college, somewhere in there. He was a football player and he was athletic in college and he was in great shape. And after 40, the years had not been kind. He had some health issues and gained a ton of weight. And she was just like, not as I remember. I remember him being a little better endowed than he is today. And we did a deep dive as to why that might be. And that is the information we came up with.
Let me ask this on that particular subject, then I'll go back to the...
Sure. So coming up short,
So he appeared to be smaller. What did she weigh? Versus what did she weigh back?
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying.
If both of them have gained weight.
If I hold my pen up to me, and then I hold my pen up to me plus 60, my pen... No.
This isn't a perspective
My
issue.
pen appears small.
It isn't an appearance issue. This is an actual...
Is that not true?
No.
So my pen would not appear small. A bigger me, the pen would appear small.
Here's you, right? This is your pen.
And remember, I'm a smaller me looking at
Okay, if you're smaller, you're looking at the pen. But if
a smaller woman looking at me. So my little hands are grabbing it, and all of a sudden I'm like,
all of a sudden your belly gets bigger.
Oh my God, I need a bigger one. Your
belly gets bigger, and this bad boy sort of recedes into the body.
Women are good for this.
So therefore,
did the woman gain weight over the years?
Instead of seeing this, you're seeing something like this.
I'm not discounting that.
I'm just telling you.
Did the women gain weight over the years?
Yes, she gained some weight over the years, but that does not have to do with the loss of penile size.
Well, I've seen a person put on a sweater that they've had a long time ago. Man, this sweater seems smaller. No, your ass just got bigger.
That is not what we're talking about. I'm not saying
that didn't happen, but
that is not what we're talking about.
Second question. We talk about this. You do know men, and we've talked about this on the show. Men are what? What type of creatures?
Visual
creatures.
Are you trying to say?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I'm just saying the average weight for a sister in America is 187 pounds. Maybe that has something to do with it. I know women like to think it's all us. Does that have anything to do with it?
Did we talk about the average weight gain of men?
Hold on now. Let's
because y'all putting on weight, don't sleep.
We gonna stick to one. We gonna stick to topic. We gonna so
the topic was
the question was men
coming up short.
Now so let's talk about that.
Short.
Coming up short. And we talked about maybe getting lost a little penis if you gain 50 pounds. Right?
Lost a little penis.
But
it's only 5 inches to begin with. That's 20% of his penis.
But now, let me say this.
Yeah.
So if he's coming up short and we're visual creatures, would he be a man at any age is going to be more excited seeing something this worth seeing. So if I'm seeing something 187 pounds, I'm almost looking at me.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Is there any truth to that?
Potentially.
So he's supposed to be full staffed no matter what he's looking at.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
So basically what you're saying is that erections are scalable. You're saying
God darn right,
for a woman who is a 10, then you're full mast. And it goes down from there.
I'm saying men are visual.
So
and a lot of, if you take a teenage boy, 17 years old, put a super hot teacher on this side of the room and put a not so hot teacher over there, if he looks over here at his peak, he's just looking over there.
That's because he would fuck anything. He's a 17-year-old boy.
He does not have an erection. If he looks over here, if he glances,
yes, he does.
No, not looking at her. He has
an erection.
Not looking at her.
If you chew your gum the wrong way.
If he glances over here, he can't stand up. So my point is,
Kris.
I
can't.
Looks have something to. If you want to tell me that men aren't visual creatures, if you want to make that argument,
men are visual, but you can't tell me that an out of shape man doesn't have dick problems.
I'm telling you that a man who has circulatory issues or takes high blood pressure medicine will.
That's a whole different problem. By the way, that's a very different problem than the loss of.
That is the problem size. Of most.
But that's a compounded problem. Okay, so take the loss of penis size, will you please, and then add to that a circulatory problem.
First off,
so not only
don't gain 50 pounds from high school till adult. She forgot to research that. But okay, you want to just focus on the fatter man.
Oh, they can gain 50 to 80 pounds.
The average man.
I've seen some that are.
Average man doesn't gain 50 pounds.
What, Jake? Do we have any interesting comments? Because
she thought I wasn't gonna be ready for all of this.
I mean, but because you're making nonsensical rebuttals.
Go to Jamal Matukas.
Yeah, please go. I'm sure he has something.
For those looking on other social media
sites, 2 things can be true.
Jamal Matukas said 2 things can be true, 2 things are true.
Okay, and well then don't try to degrade my truth.
But the difference is, and everybody take note, even though this is a sex talk, you can use it with your girlfriends and spouses. They never want to acknowledge both sides of anything.
I'm not okay.
They will avoid questions.
To Jamal's point,
they will redirect. Men,
I didn't redirect anything. You said how they come.
I asked you a specific question twice, and I told you the answer. Responded with, "But men, you don't even answer the question."
No, I did. You said, "How are men coming up short?" And I told you specifically.
I said, "What did they say?" And I haven't heard a quote
This is
yet.
what they said. I'm telling you a story.
I'm
giving you anecdotal evidence, and I can give you some physiological facts. Please don't test me. Don't do it.
Again,
nope.
As Brother Matuka said, if there are health issues, right? Well, there's blood
health
flow
issues, as in eating Harold's chicken.
Well, I'm saying if he has
size doesn't matter. That's what Jamal Matuka says now. To whom,
yes,
Jamal? To whom?
I don't want to.
Would any women like to comment on this? Where are my sisters at? Where are the ladies?
Wait a minute. So, but real talk. There is something to be said for that.
Yes, there is.
See how I did that?
I just said it.
I acknowledge that, fellas. Some of you got to get in better shape. Some of you, if it's not working right, need to go to the doctor. Men are prideful creatures. That's what you need to do. See how we can readily admit? Now watch this. On the other hand, a lot of women, if they want to be more appealing to men, not that you have to, it's your choice. You got to put the fork down. I
think everyone should be putting the fork down.
No.
There is evidence for both sides to put the fork down.
No.
And what do you mean no? Yes.
The most beautiful women in the world are with a lot of unattractive men. You don't know why? Want to know why?
Go ahead, Kris.
I don't make these rules. I just live in this world.
You are so one note. I swear to God.
I just live in this world.
This is your whole platform.
I just live in this world.
Okay, go ahead.
A lot of beautiful women are attracted to what?
Money.
All day. So.
But money can't buy you health, and it can't buy you a larger heart-on.
Stick to the topic at hand.
I'm just saying.
That money overcomes that. See, men don't look at women and say, look at the financial portfolio of that one. We say, look at that little waist, cute face.
To be honest, here's the thing. Okay, so
see how you did that?
But okay, let me just tell you what
she won't even acknowledge
I'm not saying that's not true.
There are a lot of women at 187 pounds is a problem.
I'm not saying
it's a problem.
We weren't talking about that.
Wearing a bonnet to the bedroom is a problem.
I'm going to quote Jamal again. Two things.
Wearing a bonnet to the bedroom.
Two things.
Just rolling over, saying, "Here you go."
I am not saying
it's a problem.
That there are women who.
But there are many reasons.
He must know how to work that.
But there are many reasons why men get erect or don't get erect, and one of them is, think about when most women in their, I don't know, early 20s, early 30s, looking real good. Think of the lingerie you wear. Think of how you walk to the bed.
Do you think that all women in their 20s and 30s wear lingerie?
I've heard a lot of men say that a lot of women take this for granted. They wear bonnets, they roll over, they don't, they get, you gotta sell the sizzle if you want this steak.
Okay.
Wait a minute, do you hear that? I just came off the top. You gotta sell that sizzle if you want that steak.
You talking a short rib? Or are you talking a great big T-bone?
See, I acknowledge the faults on both sides, but you think women are doing everything perfect.
I did not say that. Did I say that?
Could just roll up? You think Lizzo can just show up and his penis is supposed to do this? Oh my God!
You know.
Wait on this.
You know better.
Don't happen.
You know better.
Don't happen.
You know better.
Don't happen.
You totally know better. Don't even try that, Kris. I don't even understand why you're saying that.
I'm
not letting you.
I felt like you were putting it all in men's lap.
No, I wasn't doing that.
I was ready for this.
You said, "Are men coming up short?"
Well, yeah, right.
And
I acknowledge that some of them are.
Since we're talking short,
I acknowledge that some of them are.
Since we're talking short, let's talk about the amount of time.
Oh, that it needs for
that men will.
That people over 40 want to have sex.
Yes.
Well, the answer for men is always this. Men always want to have sex, whether he's 15 or 105, when he's done. When he's done, it's great. So whatever that takes, it's fine with us. Now, we can talk about women.
So women over 40, keep in mind, libidos are stronger, right? And so coming up short can also mean short of time. So I don't know why they feel like they need to put on lingerie for 5 minutes of foreplay to orgasm.
If you want more than 5 minutes.
Do you think there's a correlation?
So I sent Gina B some homework. I did bring some notes.
Let's pull up.
I did bring some notes. I will say that. Let me pull out some facts.
Yes.
Because I wonder too, what are most women saying they need, right? And it ran the gamut. I will say that.
It did run the gamut.
Women, you are some beautiful and unique creatures. Some women actually said, look, give me 10 minutes of foreplay, 10 minutes of and that's plenty. One lady said, it was like 8 women, and this is from Women's Weekly, July 2019. One woman said, give me an hour, I don't want it.
It depends on who she's having sex with.
I'm almost scared of her. Some were in between, right? Some needed a lot more warming up, as I think men do too as they age. But it's no one answer.
What were we saying over the way?
I don't think it's one answer, is my point.
But we were saying something on the way over here. What were we saying?
We were saying, we were talking about, was it an oral sex conversation?
We were talking about how
lubrication for wagging off.
we were talking about how if it starts in the morning, like if
that's a good point.
Yeah,
a lot of women say it depends on, and this is in terms of orgasm, right?
Right.
So that's
foreplay begins in the morning.
And the reason Gina B said women, and I think the reason you said we found. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say that they did a study, 806 women, and this is American Journal of Medicine. Average age was actually 63.
Okay.
So these women weren't necessarily aroused as much as somebody younger, but their sexual satisfaction was greater than other ages.
Now, what do we attribute that to?
So we know our bodies better. It was sort of saying they sort of know what they want and how to get there.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And 67% of those women have orgasms, as compared to 90% of men, and we all know men can pretty much figure out how to finish. And that was
90% is actually lower than I thought, to be honest with you.
You single guys out there, if an older woman is checking you out, might be worth looking into. I'm just saying, words for wise.
Jamal Matuka says that old man penis is a marathon. Usually has breaks in between.
And see, that's what I was gonna tell you before. You assumed that younger men go longer. It's like a muscle, right? If you have a man who's an older man and he's had some regular sex throughout his life, he's putting in some time. It's just how it is. Now, his refractory period, word of the day,
yes,
the time between round 1 and round 2, is not going to be like a young man.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Well, a young man might.
Yeah.
A young man might look and say, "Oops, it's over," but he'll be back in 35
in like
seconds.
exactly.
Right.
His bounce back game is strong.
So there are pros and cons to each.
There are pros and cons to each. This is another thing that my friends are saying.
Now, do your friends say this?
Refractory period, as you put it.
The hilarious part, not hilarious.
It could be 24 hours.
These are some facts. This is from Women's Weekly. Wait a minute. Older women, women in their 40s. Let me know if this is true, Gina B.
Please let me know.
Have some of the most liberal attitudes towards sex of any group.
Probably.
I'm just going to read off a couple.
Go ahead.
Men, ladies, if you look, chime in, let me know if this is true or if it's just BS. This thing said more open-minded than any men, teenagers, or men that are adults. 87% of women in their 40s are down for oral sex, where it used to be thought of as risque, now becomes regular. 1 in 7 perform some sort of lesbian act. I put that at about 58%.
58%?
I know I know some things.
I think you know some people.
Women 30 to 49 are the most favorable towards porn.
Okay.
Who knew? They're more in the dress up. They're more in the role play. In the past year, 1 in 5 women over 40 have looked at porn. 1 in 5 have used a toy. That's about 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah. I think more than 1 in 5 of you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think those are really conservative statistics.
1 in 10 have watched an X-rated movie.
What's the difference? Wait, I thought you gave the porn specific.
1 in 4. Who knew?
Yes.
Who cares? Just put it any hole, baby. Just put it anywhere. I don't care where it is. Just put it anywhere. Now here's something.
Was it accidentally or intentionally?
And here's where we're going. 2/3 of them do say, and it didn't specify whether they were married or not. 2/3 say, fellas, take note. I'm giving you something here. They want sex more often. So a lot of them aren't getting enough, to your point. 1 in 4 want sex 4 to 6 times a week.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of humping around.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
There's a lot of tired men.
You hear that from your?
I think there are some women who, what I hear runs the gamut, right? Because there are a lot of people who are just like, okay, I can do it once a week and be thrilled. I can do it less. But then there are some people like, let's keep this party going. Now the question becomes, in your statistics, are those people in relationships or married?
That's what I'm saying. This particular study analyzed
they're single
women across the board.
Okay.
And it's just, how often they do it.
Married women might have a different.
This was an age. Thing. This was an age study, so they did a cross section of married, unmarried. But I would think, I don't think married men are built differently than unmarried men. I don't think married women are built differently than unmarried women. Okay,
Aaron Foster, those stats prove women lie on those studies.
And to his point, women do lie.
I would think
on
that
a lot of sex studies.
Some very conservative estimates.
They lie more conservatively. On
I would never. Yeah,
I was amazed that this is a different show, but it is still SEXPECTATIONS. Mm-hmm. We always talk about men cheating. When you look at the desire that women want sex, those real or perceived that aren't getting enough.
Okay.
The freedom that women now enjoy versus 60 years ago.
Right.
There's a lot more cheating going on.
Yeah.
I mean, with everybody.
Right.
It used to be thought that just men cheated. All the men cheated with 2 women.
Right. But you think that your whole point is, who are they cheating with? So obviously there are women who, but there are more single men than there are. So there's a lot of
unscrupulous man that makes that woman like okay because she's
No.
sleeping with a because a man
No
who
one's
sleeps
making
with a single man who sleeps with a married woman is just as bad as a.
Right, exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's the truth.
Always two guilty parties.
There are.
That's all I'm saying. But men,
Your
usually
soulmate is not somebody else's husband. I'm just saying.
soulmate and husband are two different things.
Okay, but my point being that if you think he's here, you hear all these women like, but I think he's my soulmate. He's just married to somebody else.
They're just saying that.
Shut
it's
up.
just exciting. It's new.
That is not true.
Gets the people going. It's just different. It's just new. People like new. Men, women. Oh man, it's new. It's not necessarily better. You just think it is. You don't discuss bills with that person.
Yeah.
You think about it. Think about the
right.
fair.
Because
you're off somewhere. There are no bills. There's no kids.
Right,
the only
they're
time
like,
you see them is eating or sleeping with each other. That's what it
right.
is.
That's what it is. It's you're at your best. Everyone's
Show
got their
up with
party
your bills
manners
from your house.
Right.
See how romantic.
Become the obligation girl. That's where women go wrong. It's like they go from being the fun girl to being the obligation girl, and that translation never goes well.
Right.
Anyway, different show altogether.
And this is just overhearing what my few single buddies say, because I only had a few, or overhearing conversations
quite a few.
with my wife's single friends. What's the expectation? You mentioned it earlier. In terms of foreplay.
The expectation?
Oh, what's the expectation? Does that match what's actually happening for women out here?
No.
Really?
No.
Because
men would try and go without foreplay unless it's foreplay in their favor.
One of those ladies in the article said she needed about a half hour, 40 minutes of foreplay. And I'm thinking, yeah, we can split that. You go on down there for 20 minutes and I got you 20. But see, a lot of
you go down there for 20 minutes and it's over.
That's not true.
That refractory period doesn't work with you.
Again, see that? They don't want to commit to the same thing. They want more from you than they're willing to give.
That's not accurate.
That's the problem.
No, because here's the deal.
That is the problem. How many times, fellas, this happened when I was single. I could be married for this. I specifically remember people say, well, my mouth hurt, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, it's been 4 minutes. Your mouth hurting for 4 minutes.
Maybe they're just flattering you.
But you want me to be down there for hours.
Down there with Thanksgiving.
With your 50-pound overweight.
Oh, shut up. You're so terrible.
It's the mark of a great comedian.
You are terrible.
It is what it is. Facts don't lie. Jamal Matuka said something. So, can we blow that up, please? Super. Jamal Matuka, foreplay is the natural remedy. He should have been on this show.
Is the natural remedy to erectile dysfunction?
Because how you make up for that teacher over there who looks horrible, or how Lizzo can get a man. I'm just picking on Lizzo. I like the music, but she keeps showing me herself. So I'm going to talk about it. She don't put it out there. I'm going to talk about it. So try to cancel me. I'm not scared of the femininity. So if that person who's not that attractive wants to get something working that ain't normally working by sight,
right?
Jamal Matuka makes a good point. He says foreplay is the natural remedy to erectile dysfunction.
Okay, but you know what it's also the remedy for when men do it?
You see how, again, when she says something, I say, you know what? Good point. You're right.
It is a good point. I'm building on the point.
That women may need to change. It doesn't.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
It doesn't even get addressed.
Oh my God.
Keep track. That's how they do. Don't fall into it, fellas.
No, my point is that works on both sides. Yes, I do agree with him.
I agree too.
Foreplay is,
but I've seen.
But where it goes for women,
I've seen women say, I need longer, and that's fine. Take 45 minutes. But are you willing to stay down there and smile at me while I talk dirty for 45 minutes? And I'll be willing to say, most of them will say, hell to the no.
Okay.
Right or wrong?
45 minutes is a little long.
But that's the expectation that they want.
I don't know that that's true.
You read it.
I think, I read it, but I think if people know what they're doing, they should be able to.
Oh.
If you're skilled. What I was going to say is how that also works on the other side with foreplay is that it can make up for any shortcomings in time on the male side too. You see my point?
What do you know? Be more specific.
So if men are performing oral sex on women, then that might make her forget that she's only having 4 minutes of actual intercourse.
Hey, you know what, Gina B? I agree with that. I think that's possible.
You know, I mean, I think that's,
another way of looking at it. That bonnet that you wore to bed and that roll over.
You see what he's doing now? You see what he's doing? I
acknowledge what you said, and now I'm speaking. I would hope to get the same. That bonnet that you wear, that unsexiness that you do, that lay there and expect to get Superman that you do. That oral sex, that lift, makes up for your lack of effort in sliding me a steak slide me a sandwich under the door instead of bringing me a nice marble steak like this. I want to be fed like this. I don't want to be like this. Here's the food.
So that's what.
Here's the ass. Ding.
So your analogy.
Here's the ass. Ding. Take it.
So that's bonnet sex.
Yeah.
Versus
that don't get
lingerie. You wanted to be in Playboy every night.
You get a different response.
So every night, Kris.
I didn't say that.
I'm asking. I'm trying to clarify what you want.
I said as much as you want, you need to do.
Okay. So my question is,
100%.
You talk about the bonnet a lot. You have a bonnet problem.
I see women wearing bonnets in public. I know
do.
Damn well they're wearing them in the bedroom.
I am not a bonnet proponent. You will not find bonnets in my house, right? Okay. I don't have a bonnet. I don't have a bonnet. They're not attractive. Okay. Whatever. No, they're not. They're just not. I mean, I don't know. I don't care.
It's rolled off on tongue. You see how they lie? Anyway, go ahead.
I'm not lying.
Right,
where's my anyway? Yeah. He would tell you. That bitch ain't got a bonnet. She has sweatpants though.
She wears a jewel bag. She ties a jewel bag up because she needs a little hair there with the holes in the bottom.
No, I'm a low hair maintenance person, which is the reason why I don't have a bonnet.
Anyway, what were you saying?
That's the whole point. I mean, you're the one that keeps bringing it up. But anyway, so what is the nightly expectation of a woman? Say your wife.
I think it's
no bonnet. Okay, so how do you want her to come to bed every night? Every night.
I think any couple, it's unique to them, whether they're married, whether it's same sex, whether it's man and woman, whether it's husband and wife. It's whatever that couple communicates. But what doesn't work is when person A expects this much effort, but only willing to give this much effort. And I hear that more from women. It is what it is.
You hear that women have a higher expectation than they're willing to meet.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
I think they want Superman every night. But they want
super
they ain't
libido.
Bringing Wonder Woman every night.
Okay. And Wonder Woman is come to bed
she dressed up
like a Playboy.
She dressed up like she got on red boots, ready to do business. She got a rope. She came to play.
She's got a rope.
She came to play. She lets you see everything. Her jet is even glass. If you want Superman, come to bed like Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. If you don't, then that's fine. But it's on whatever that couple agrees to.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I just wanted to get some clarity as to what the expectation was for women.
I'm not saying that they need to do something they're not getting, but don't expect something if you're not doing.
Curious. Do any of the men here want to comment?
Have I lied at all?
Jamal, what would Jamal, you say what? How do you want your woman to come to bed every night? Marcus, I know Jay Wyatt is watching.
Just say
what
Chris
you guys
the
got?
Was 100.
Aaron, don't be shy, man. I want to hear about it. And in the meantime, the women who are watching, I want you to tell me what you wear to bed. So we'll just table that. We're gonna gather some opinions here, and we're gonna bring them back. Okay. So
I want to know because we talked about there are, and this is again dating over 40, SEXPECTATIONS.
Those were unreasonable expectations in my eyes, says Aaron Foster.
Okay.
No, I didn't see Jamal.
It said
Kris for president. Okay.
I'm not saying
Aaron says unrealistic expectations. What's unrealistic, Aaron? I only need her naked. Okay, is that fine, Kris? If she comes to bed naked?
Was she under the covers, the light on? Is she over? What does she look like?
Okay, he just said naked.
He said naked, so that was nasty.
Okay.
He meant it nasty. He meant crawling. You say naked.
I can't.
It's nasty.
I can't.
But I'm saying.
You spelled it naked, okay?
So what you doing with it? Can I see?
Okay, well, now it depends on what you're doing with it. Before you were just come to bed.
But again, there's a difference between feeding me, sliding me a turkey sandwich under a slit under the door and giving me a nice steak that I can smell and I can see the marbling and it's lit.
See the marbling.
I had this on, and you come bringing it in some nice little whatever you wear. It's the difference between bonnet turning to the side. Okay, take it. That's what a lot of women do.
He said naked.
Well, you do have to be naked. That's a prerequisite.
At some point.
It's a prerequisite for sex.
I mean, if you just come to bed naked, is that okay?
It depends.
Would guys be into that?
What your expectation is.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out.
Yes, the answer is yes. Fine. That's perfectly okay.
Okay. Now, what were we getting into before we?
When you're talking to these women, going over these men that are coming up short that just can't satisfy them.
Okay.
Even though they weigh more than the men they're with.
What?
I'm gonna keep.
This is the same issue you always have. You do not ever have a different issue.
It's a big problem in America.
This is your whole platform.
Fix that.
This is your whole platform.
You'll see a lot more firmer erections if everybody lost 25, 30 pounds.
Okay.
Facts. Do they ever do any self-reflection or no? Or they just
okay. Do women do
most men don't. Most humans point at just
probably
what the other people. I'm just wondering, do they?
Jamal Matuka says he's not denying the bonnet booty, but you're getting the selfish dick. Okay.
God's darn right.
Okay.
There is no right or wrong answer. And men, we don't even quibble about it. And here's enough, ladies. We don't argue and beg as much as we did in our 20s. If you were cute enough when we were 20, we were like, baby, 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 please, whatever, baby, baby, baby. You don't do what we like doing over 40. You just get what you get.
You just get what you get.
We ain't gonna argue about it either. You can yell about it afterwards. We give no fucks. We just gonna get along and smile. That's what we do. You want the right answer? You want me to lie to y'all? Or we lie to the people? Let me lie to the people.
Don't lie to the people.
I'm gonna lie to y'all.
Don't lie.
Keep it a buck.
Tell your truth.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm telling the truth.
Tell your truth.
I've been doing this forever. I'm the factual person in the country on this stuff.
In the country. Okay.
All right, well, it is what it is. But do they do any self-reflection? Do they ever say, like, you know what, girl, I could have, it wasn't what I wanted, but I could have done this, or maybe I could have won.
Generally, no.
Huh?
Generally, no. No self-reflection usually.
Yeah. I was just wondering.
No, not usually. I don't know that.
We sort of know when we mess up at home, like, dude, I'm in the doghouse, man. I did this. I mean, we know.
But do you admit to your boys when you're not really like performing in the bedroom, though? Do you actually admit that?
You know what? I've heard men say, man, they want this, that, and the other. Or I've heard men say, because many women, again, when they do it, they have a high sex drive over 40, but not as many have it. So I've heard complaints because men are always softballs and soft poles and all, still trying to stuff it in there. They still trying to do it. I hear that you
attach a splint,
and this is single too. I hear sometimes as they get older, they don't want the demand isn't there, and it goes both ways.
Their demand is not there.
Yeah, it goes both ways. All I'm saying.
They'd rather like have a sandwich.
But she might be thinking, man, I ain't down. That's sort of whack. I'm still thinking back to that dude when I was 25. I don't know what I'm saying, but there's a disconnect.
Yeah,
is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, well, as we began this conversation,
so men do express
there's a natural disconnect. Just because of, I
don't think the people who do
18
the most
versus 40.
I don't think the people who do the most communicating have as many issues. I think when the expectation is not met.
I'm talking biological.
If there's a man, fictitious man, and he cares about this woman, and in your words, he knows to get her really excited, she might need a nice breakfast. She might need to go out. She might need to want to go on a nice date. And then maybe he notices, even as a man, the fruits of that labor go a long way. And she likes it. See, that's what someone is communicated what they like, and someone is happy to do it. Yeah. Imagine that. It works.
Well, there's got to be action behind the communication.
I'm just
saying. There's got to be communication and action.
Yeah, but if you don't know, you don't.
Well, if you don't know, but if you know what you don't do.
One of the issues, put my relationship expert hat back on.
The bonnet.
One of the issues that couples have, and again, this is whether you're dating, whether you're just living together, whether you're married, whether it's two women, whether it's two men, whether it's whatever the case. as time goes on, people become creatures of habit.
Right.
And it is up to you to keep the relationship exciting. Because I don't care who you're with, it gets anything can get mundane, right?
Yeah.
But it's on both people to keep it spicy.
I'm gonna let you read Aaron's.
Let's go back to Brother Foster. Aaron Foster. For those of us on men have a benefit now. Those blue pills should fix the floppy stick issue. Bang those guts. You know,
don't flatter yourself. First of all,
I've heard that those pills have also caused some problems, like too much. Like,
well,
you see guys like 75 and are having babies. Robert De Niro.
There is no reason. Al Pacino. They will not be outdone.
Both just had babies.
In 83.
You cannot tell me there were some blue pills.
Are they on the way?
It was either.
I think they're on the way.
There were either some blue pills.
All this old material.
Somebody's getting them. Some baby's gonna be rich, quick.
Yeah, well, who knows what that baby's gonna be like genetically? All that old material. You know, the baby's gonna come out looking old.
So let me back up early in the show. If I could play the tape, I would. So these 80-year-old men had some younger, nice-looking women that slept with them. Why do you think those women slept with them?
I think we know why. Those young women slept with them. Because they're famous and rich.
All right. So again,
I was never debating that point.
I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you.
Doesn't matter.
And also, here's the deal.
Doesn't matter if that stuff didn't work. Big stomach, little stomach.
Here's the deal. Let me just explain the psychology of some of these women to you. And I know this because I know some of these women. The psychology is
do anything for $1.
Well,
hot 40, they going.
Here's the deal. Those kinds of women don't necessarily mind if he can't get it up.
What's that again?
They don't really mind. They're not in it for sex anyway. So they're not like the fact that he can get it up is almost a problem. Because then you got to look at old man ass.
If he couldn't, whether he had a pill, whether he didn't, they're going to be there.
They're going to be there.
Doing whatever he said do. If they say,
right, but my point is,
kiss that wet noodle, she's going to kiss that wet noodle.
I mean, half the time you're counting on their inability.
But that ain't happening these days.
Well, and there's the problem.
They popping those boys like Skittles.
They're just like, shit, I didn't count on this. Like, now I've got to actually have
sex. That used to be an easy job, I would guess, for a young chick who's on. If that's your line of work, landing these older dudes probably wasn't a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
show up, walk around, let him smack you on the butt. He falls asleep.
He's asleep.
You go on out, you doing your thing. Now he's sitting there sipping some cognac like, girl, you better come on over here. You see what this thing
going. Before it was like this withered,
double-edged sword.
And now it's, it's a whole different ball game.
Double-edged sword.
Pardon the pun.
I do want to know, and I will even let married, or I see some married and single fellas on here, what your friends say. Because I have, believe it or not, I do have some single buddies who date and they like women around their age.
Okay. Believe it or not.
And they do say that they are fairly, I don't want to say promiscuous, but a little more freer.
Yeah.
Time to consummate is a little shorter. Okay. Is that the consensus now these days?
Yeah, because women of a certain age are not. Okay, we're going to talk about that quote in a second. I'll get to Jamal Montooka's point.
Okay.
Women of a certain age are not concerned about being labeled a hoe.
I would say that's true.
You know what I mean? It's like
men don't even.
No one gives a shit. It's I'm doing what I want to do. I don't care what if anybody who's in their 40s is around talking about who's a hoe anyway, it's like, get a job. Find something else to do with your time.
True.
And so, yeah, they're a little more free with it because they're just doing what it is that they want to do.
I would agree with that. I jokingly say with one of my buddies, we're going to be like those old men in McDonald's.
Right.
Sipping coffee. Comment on every
turn around, girl. Let me see you.
Those are some nasty dudes. They say whatever.
They are really disgusting old men. Dirty old men.
Why they gotta be dirty? Maybe they just can't appreciate the beauty of a woman.
I'm married by identify. He's transnuptial. I can't. Okay. What was the previous comment that
was hilarious? Could you read that for everyone else that's not on here? Because people don't know you read.
I will. The comment that Jamal made was, I'm married but identify as single. I'm transnuptial.
That is.
What are your pronouns? Okay. So his last comment though was, I thought women were in their sexual prime, wanted all the time, liberal. So we were talking at the point in time when he made that comment, we were talking about the younger men who are hooking up with the younger women that were hooking up with the old men.
Right.
So those women are not yet in their prime. We're talking about the 25, 27, 30-year-olds. They're not in their prime yet at that age. They're hooking up with old men for money. So they really do not care.
A mutually beneficial relationship.
Exactly.
Fair exchange,
which is not necessarily a sexual thing for them.
Well, it will be. Any man giving up some cash.
Well, right, cash, but it's not like the 40-year-olds and over are the ones that are like, okay,
it happens with younger ones. Did you see the story? NBA player, won't throw his business out there, Zion Williamson, gets some chick pregnant. His porn side chick goes apeshit.
Okay.
She says she's putting up every text message. She says she has 100 videos.
Revenge porn.
I wish I were his advisor.
What would you tell him?
Tell that girl, who gives a fuck? Show whatever tape you want to show. Now you just messed up on any money you ever get again. Peace, itch. And that's what I would tell her. Extortionists should be lined up and shot.
Well, I don't disagree with
He's an idiot, make no mistake.
He is an idiot.
Good.
He is an idiot. Okay, what else we got up here? Okay, should we get into the tips? His pronouns are we and they.
Yeah, we do have shout out.
Hi, Scott Clayton.
We do have about 9 minutes left. You bought some tips for folks?
I brought some tips for
SEXPECTATIONS
men.
over 40. We've been, for those just joining for the last few minutes, as predicted, Gina B wore her woman flag today and really tried to take a swipe at men out here on the shortcomings of older men.
I wanted to make sure women did not get beat
I quickly
up.
pointed out that if you wanted it, the long story short, you want a hard penis, get rid of the bonnet, get in shape, turn the light on, do something.
What if you don't have a bonnet and you're in shape and the men are still not? Anyway.
You know women.
Who?
You want to talk about the 3% of women? Okay, fine, whatever.
I know women.
Those 3% of women are getting some hard. It is. Okay. You got some tips for folks. I got a few. What you got for folks over 40?
I've got some
use.
sex tips for men over 40.
Oh, do tell. We'd love to hear these tips.
So if you're having issues, if you're a man and you're probably not going to admit it in this forum.
Ex-farmer rep, $10 a pop. I got them on the low. Inbox.
Okay. First, if you're having a libido problem, you should check your health. You should check your nutrition. You should eat libido enhancing foods. Those, according to the podcast that I listen to, were carrots, apples, spinach, like good vegetables.
Good luck with that.
Okay. Good luck. The other suggestion is to limit your drinking. Because nothing better than an old man with whiskey dick, right?
But who likes having it? Well,
anyway. Limit drinking, exercise, communicate with your partner about where you are.
Agreed.
That is really important. It's a point that you brought up earlier. It's a great point. Especially if you're a man over 40 and you're dating a woman who's under a younger woman.
Right.
And she's used to a specific thing from a libido standpoint and a shorter refractory period. Just make sure she understands where you are. And
vice versa.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
I know you always leave that out. It's always.
These are sex tips for men over 40. You can talk about women in a minute.
Well, part of that should be communicating what you need. Don't stand for them sliding you a turkey sandwich under an old dusty door.
Just like you don't want.
Put on that Wonder Woman suit and with the cape and the red boots. Wonder Woman did it for everybody. All races, all walks of life.
Women, don't let him slide you a Vienna sausage when what you really want is a nice Polish. Anyway, so the next is masturbate with a purpose. Because we know you're doing it, okay? So
done right.
Don't and by masturbate with a purpose, I mean don't just like give yourself a 3-minute beat it like it stole
you
something.
Want him, hold on. Wait a minute. You're going too far now, Zena. You want a man masturbating.
I'll tell you why.
You want him to deny himself.
Not deny.
Whatever he wants to do.
Deny.
And pretend that his own hand is some woman.
No,
who needs it for a long time.
Per usual.
I'm just wondering. You know what? I got on on my tips.
The point. Can you shut up?
I got women on tips on how women can use their sex.
Can you find it in your heart to be quiet?
That was just so outlandish.
Can you? Okay, here's the reason. This is what the male podcaster suggested for men. Okay, this isn't a woman thing. The male podcaster suggested that you masturbate with a purpose, and the purpose is to try to see if you can go longer without having an orgasm. So what you're doing is you're getting yourself in shape for longer sex as opposed to just blowing it out.
And again, it all comes back to, while he's doing that, guess what he's looking at? But just take a wild guess.
What does it have to do with anything?
Just answer the question.
Why are you all up in my tips?
What is he looking at?
You're all up in my tips.
No, what is he looking at while he's masturbating?
I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what's in his spank bank. He's looking at some porn. My point is, some women who are not sliding a sandwich under a door. It's gonna come back to that. You try to get away from it if you can. Playing Vienna sausage either. But those are good tips. Those are good tips. Okay, and then the other thing is, we talked about this earlier. The last tip is get into performing oral sex, because that will, in some cases, take your mind off the fact that you're not really having a lot of intercourse.
Remember, guys, 20 minutes for time you're down, 20 minutes time she's down.
Oh my God!
Don't be a sucker.
Literal tit for tat.
Don't be. Oh, now it's tit for tat.
It is.
When you tell people, hey, I want to treat you just as good as you treat me, and that ain't enough.
No,
move on.
But every single point I make, you can't just say that's a good point and keep it moving, or be quiet while I'm giving my tips.
I put on tips, but my tips.
Go ahead, give your tips.
We're to everyone.
Just see what happens.
We're to everyone. See, I don't just look at this.
We've got 4 minutes.
As a male-female thing. It's a people thing.
Chris.
So
4 minutes.
Number one, I just said be healthy.
Okay, got that.
50,000 people worldwide die every year during intercourse.
That's a lot.
50,000 people die every year.
Coming and going. Okay.
So be healthy. Listen, you've worked hard your whole life. You're plus 40. You've reached the top of the hill. Slowly on the way down. Find a trustworthy partner or partners. No one wants to be dealing with diseases post 40. The sex ain't even
anytime.
The sex ain't as fun. You want part of being
you don't want to be 70 catching gonorrhea.
Having sex is being able to do whatever you want to do. I want to try something new. I want to put it in your ear. Just do what you want to do without fear of contracting the disease.
Right.
And to men and women, foreplay makes it more better on both sides. Got it? Notice I didn't say, ladies, you need to increase it for him because he takes long. No, both sides. Lube is good. See? I left the whole vaginal dryness alone. It's a thing. She didn't acknowledge it because she only sees the fault.
That's not what. Okay.
It is what it is. Okay. Lube is a good thing, fellas. Everybody ain't as spry and ready to go as they were in the back of your car when you were 12. It will. Show of hands. Anybody who ever had sex in the car? That was the stuff back in the day. You didn't care. You were tight. Just I'll
tell you a story about one of my friends.
Just as super hard.
One of my friends got caught. I'll tell you. Anyway, go ahead.
I got caught too. The police knocked on the door, and the girl kept saying, "Would you look out? Would you look out, South Coast Soldier?" I'm like, I'm looking. I wasn't looking. I'm looking. All of a sudden, I was like,
"Sir."
Oh shit. She's like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Look, this is me. Almost." I was like, "Sir,
you're like, can you wait about 2 seconds?"
College. I was supposed to. He was like, "Just get out of here." I was like, "Thank God." Of course, she let me hear about that for the next 2 years. Be spontaneous. Again, you got to keep it fresh and new, people. If you're with the same person, hopefully you are. Still aren't jumping around everywhere. And that's on both parties, I think, to be so spontaneous. And then lastly, go crazy. Try some new different things. Say some different things. Role play. Dress up. Do whatever you want to do.
UPS man.
Exactly. Yeah. Women, if you get your husband a UPS uniform, if you don't, well, ladies, only do that if your UPS man is not attractive. Because you got a nice looking UPS guy, and all of a sudden you show what you. It's
just like, problem. Wait a minute.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all we got. We got Brian Foster's up next.
In the Zone.
In the Zone is up next. Gina B is
I'm on it. Show. It's going to be about Juneteenth and who should be celebrating.
As I said, Juneteenth was dangerous, but it was lit as fuck.
Yeah.
Wherever you were, I'm sure it was dangerous and off the chain.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully all I got. Not too dangerous.
Kris and Gina relationship show next week. What we got, Gina B?
We've got a sexpert. We've got a health expert coming
next week.
Next week.
Are we talking about sex again?
We're talking about sex again, but we're talking about
The next two shows are going to be about sex.
Yeah, we've got
salacious, and this is going to be more
sexcapades.
This is going to be more salacious and salacious till it be downright.
This is
filthy.
No, this is going to be more informative in terms of like things you should check out with your health and wellness. Filthy. No, the week after will be filthy because you know who we have then.
We have she of 78,000 Instagram followers.
This is what we have.
Goody Howard.
I'm excited. We couldn't do it last week because Kris was sick.
I was messed up, y'all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we out here like last year.
All right.
Kris and Gina, we will see you all next week.
Peace
same bat time, same bat channel for all you older folks. Tell a friend, like it, share it. Bring a friend next week. We'd love to see it. We'll start giving stuff away.
Bring a friend who needs to know about sex.
We're going to start giving stuff away.
Okay, what are we going to give away?
It depends who brings some people. Bring some folks, we give us stuff away.
Let us know if you would ever be interested in seeing us do this live.
Yeah, we've done Battle of the Sexes live.
Yeah, but let us know if you ever want to see a live podcast with us.
Yeah.
Chime in. We want to know.
And be on the panel. All right, we out here.
All right.
See y'all next time. Jake, thank you, brother.